Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. We are here again in the Union Garden, and this side of our garden has been getting a lot of love this year. As you can see, we have filled it up with beautiful purple color, and we're going to add some more today. Yeah. So today we're going to be adding some foliage contrast with two beautiful perennials that we can't wait to share with you. So over here we have been focused on mostly this year adding purple color. So we added a purple salvia, we added a cat's meow nepeta, then we came in with some meteor shower verbena, and then we've got the pugster blue butterfly bushes that are in bloom now. And that has added some really nice purple texture and color over here, which is great. But we want to change it up and add some more interesting things. So we've got two perennials today that we're going to share with you. So why don't we talk a little bit about them before we get them in the ground?
Yeah.
So in front of me here, I have Boom Chocolata Hardy Geranium. Now, if you've grown geraniums before, you probably are used to them as annuals, maybe in hanging baskets, sometimes in the ground. These are a little bit different. So what you're seeing here now is just the foliage. We were hoping we would have some blooms to show you, but we'll grab some photos as well. Now this is called Boom Chocolata because the leaves are typically more of a darker color than what you may see on a normal green plant. Now these have been in a little bit of shade, so they have a more green hue to them, but once we get them over here and they get some good sun on them, they will darken up. So it's going to be some really nice contrast. Now this perennial will actually bloom for us, but we have missed the bloom this year. They bloom very early spring, and it will be about 26 inches tall when it's in bloom. It will have gorgeous purple flowers on the top, and then once it's done blooming, you can actually shear it back hard so you get a nice flush of new foliage. This is hardy zones 4 to 8, and it's going to get about 2.5 feet wide, so we're going to need to give this some space to grow. And it's actually pretty drought tolerant once it gets in the ground. So this one is a pretty easy grower. Should do really well for you, but it's got to be in the sun in order to get the best bloom.
Yeah, I also think in the sun it gets a little bit darker foliage. So like right now it looks a little bit green, but when it gets in the sun it'll be that darker purple color. And the blooms, when you think of a geranium, obviously you think of those like clusters of blooms, but this has really small purple blooms and it will just get covered in them, which we're so excited over here because you know this is a fully purple garden. But I have something that's not blooming in front of me. This is silver lining Artemisia. And this is brand new for this year. It's a wonderful perennial. As you guys know, we tried Powys Castle Artemisia over here when we first planted the garden, and it has much finer textured leaves, very small and silver. It's still beautiful, but it sort of took over. I would say it got like...
Way too big.
Yeah, it got like probably 4 feet tall and wide, which was a lot more than we had bargained for this space. You guys know we have a pretty small garden, so we have to plant things that are going to sort of interweave with each other and play nice with the other plants. And silver lining Artemisia is definitely going to do that. So you can see it has much larger leaves and foliage than most of the Artemisia that you can find out there, which I really love. And it also has sort of a vining habit. And so we know it'll play a lot nicer with the other plants. It'll sort of be that background contrast for them and just intermingle well, hopefully. I think it does have a little bit of an upward mentality sometimes, but we can trim it back, and Artemisia always comes back every year, and you can pretty much do whatever you want to it, and it's super hardy. So this one only gets about 12 to 16 inches tall, but about 3 feet wide. So it's gonna stay low, it's gonna play well with the other plants, and be that nice backgrounded contrast of color. So I'm super excited about both of these. Why don't we get them in the ground?
Yep.
All right, guys, so we've got our silver lining Artemisia and our Boom Chocolata hardy geraniums all in the ground. And as you can see, I'm a little dirty, a little bit sweaty.
It's a little humid down here in the south right now.
Yes, it has finally reached the point of the summer where we don't want to be outside all the time, but we still enjoy it, and we're making it so beautiful. As you can see, a lot of stuff in this garden and sort of like out into the garden. We need to give you guys a tour soon,
Yes,
I guess.
We do. Oh my gosh.
But is blooming and gorgeous. The Vitex behind me is just going so insane. There's blooms all over it. The pollinators are super happy. And so that's just one of the things that's going crazy. And obviously, our standard hydrangea behind me is in full bloom, which
beautiful.
I think that just like happened today.
Yeah.
So everything is getting really pretty, and we can't wait to show you guys more.
So I did want to talk a little bit about how we planted over here. So normally, if you've been watching our channel for a bit, you are used to us planting in drifts. We'll do like a little drift of 3 to 5 here and then kind of intermingle it with the next thing. But in the Union Garden over here, we want it to feel a little bit more natural, a little bit more like nature did this herself.
Yeah.
So we just kind of planted things all throughout, all the way down the bed. So the geraniums and the silver lining have kind of made their way all the way down the bed. And it's really nice because next spring when the geranium is in bloom, you'll see it all throughout the flower bed, and it'll just be like little pops all throughout. Along with the salvia and the nepeta, we think it's going to be really nice over here. It's going to look really natural.
Yeah, and on the other side of this garden, it's full of hostas that obviously bloom. I'm sure we've shown you guys that before. If not, we'll pop a picture up on the screen now. But everything has just been giving us so much love and texture over here. The pollinators are everywhere, so it's just a wild space. It's sort of a tucked away secret garden, and we really love that.
Yeah. So I think that does it for this project. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed our content, please give this video a thumbs up. That helps us out a lot. And make sure you click the subscribe button down below. See you next time. Bye.